right, brother. What do you say? Fire in the hole?
Fire in the hole.
All right. Knuckles, man. Okay. It is, we talked about this before. Not a lot going on this week, except the Daytona 500.
Oh, well, hold on, man. Let's back up a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Here. Let's get personal. Right. There's a whole lot going on, man.
Yeah.
Fire turned 50 this week, man.
Happy freaking birthday,
yeah.
dude.
We talked about this before.
Yeah, we did.
I just lost the under. I just lost the under. I can't freaking collect. But at least 3 of the friends that made that bet with me are already dead. So they kiss my ass.
We're gonna cut all that shit out.
We can't cut that out. That's epic.
Okay, I know. We'll try it again. Okay, so
that was perfect, man.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna decide if we actually keep that in there now.
Yeah,
okay?
you know what? We should leave it. You know what? Maybe that's a limited edition thing on the web.
Maybe we do.
That,
we just keep
that
it
has
just
to
like
stay.
that.
Come on, man. That's good stuff.
All right. So, like I said, it is Daytona 500 time. I just get stoked up at this time of year when it comes to Daytona 500. So why don't we just dedicate this whole show to kind of racing cars, the whole shot. Okay. So what better way to kick it off than
the cars? And finally, for the first time in our history, Fire got to pick a song.
You know what? It is taken, since this is podcast number 23.
Yeah, that's
I always love the cars. They just...
Whenever you start hearing the cars on the radio, summer's coming.
Yeah, you know what? They
are the ultimate summer band, man.
Dude.
Whenever you start hearing them on the radio, the sun's out, it's shining, it's beautiful.
Dude, that is an absolutely great call.
The Cars are one of the happiest bands in my mind.
That is an absolutely great call. Hey, there are some bands like the Beach Boys or another one. When you hear them, it just says summer, doesn't it?
This was back in my day, too, man. I can just remember a lot of...
Oh, yeah, a lot of... the Cars. It's the Cars. There were another ones. What was the one Working for the Weekend?
Loverboy.
Loverboy. That was another,
Hold on, man. Hold on. The red leather pants and the peace sign on the ash cheek. Is that not the ultimate freaking album cover ever? Come on, man.
Oh, that was a good one. That was no doubt about that. That was a good one. So, hey, again, happy birthday to you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, and that's a fitting way as we go into, we said podcast number 23. Finally, that you pick a song here.
Yeah, that's
not a bad thing. It is Friday, February 24th. And this is, where are you again?
I think I'm Fire.
And I think I know you're Fire. And I am Brim Double M Stone from Brimmstone.com, Fire and Brim on Facebook, Fire and Brim on Twitter.
We're everywhere.
We are everywhere. That's right. And so, like I said, we're going to talk about racing, cars, stuff like that this week. And so what was it? Another favorite song? Any other favorite songs that you got? Cars like that?
Oh, well, any Cars tune in the summer, man.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You always got like Sammy Hagar, too,
right? Oh, there's nothing wrong with Sammy Hagar.
How many times you blasted down the highway? I'm going 70.
One of my favorites was Rush, Red Barchetta. That's just a good song. It's not a firing up one.
I'm gonna have to go listen to that. I'm a Rush fan, but I'm not a deep Rush fan. So,
Beach Boys had 409. Actually, they had a couple songs. They had a couple songs like that. Another one I always like, Foreigner. They had a couple. One was called Rev and the Red Line, which is just all about racing.
Oh, that was a good one.
Just absolutely about racing. So that's whenever you get to that type of stuff, it's fun to hear that. What about favorite movies? And any favorite movies that you've got?
Oh, there's tons of them.
Mine kind of racing oriented there.
My favorite's Talladega Nights, man. They're just so stupid in that, man. Ricky Bobby, drive it like you stole it, Ricky. That's just awesome, man.
He puts the Jaguar in the car. That is.
Yeah.
How about the scene where he's in the hospital and his wife says, "Well, I just want you to pull the plug." He's alive.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
And the doctor's looking at him. Yeah, okay, there's a couple other, obviously the Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Those
all 74 of them, yeah. But they're all great. From a racing standpoint.
Well, they're like 78, 79 of them, something like that. I mean, they get them. It's like they come out.
Yeah, but they always have those old muscle cars, man.
Yeah, they do.
I know. Vin's always got the muscle car. I dig it.
One of my favorites, I don't know if you saw the movie Con Air.
Oh, yeah,
with Nicolas Cage and that.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage with a mullet.
Yeah, and the one dude has got that Corvette.
Yes.
And it finally, towards the end, gets drug in the air, and then it drops out this guy.
Whoops.
That's a good one. Well, obviously the cars, the cartoon cars.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Yeah, all those movies, yeah.
Those are good. Days of Thunder. I wasn't that big.
That was a good movie, though.
It was a good movie. Yeah, it was like what was the one with Tom Cruise in the airplane, the jets? It was his, instead of
Mission Impossible.
No, not Mission Impossible, or where he really came out was Kelly McGillis was in it with him.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. It was like the Top Gun of racing. Is what it was.
Yeah.
The way that one was. But I can't. I got to go with you on Talladega Nights. That is just stupid funny. There's a good ones. How about a great chase scene? Do you like any car chase scenes?
Greatest of all time, Steve McQueen, Bullet.
It's hard to
that
turn
was
that
the baddest
one down.
Mustang ever, man.
That,
I'm sorry,
that is,
dude.
it's hard to
you
turn
ain't gonna
that
beat
one
that.
down. That is the just the driving in that.
And Steve was a racer too, man.
Doggone right he was.
I mean, he was doing it. He's like, this is my car, fuck you. I'm doing
well,
this.
he did one called Grand Prix.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and that was all about racing.
Yeah,
that was definitely his thing into racing as well.
Yeah, he was. He was an exceptional driver.
He was actually very good driver.
But Bullet for me was the baddest chase scene ever, man.
Another one I really like, and I'll send you a link to it. We'll put it up. I'm sure we can find it out the YouTube. It's called the 7-Ups, and Roy Scheider.
That's obscure.
Yeah, Roy Scheider from Jaws fame. He is in this, and I think that chase scene, honestly, is as good as or better than Bullet, believe it or not. That means it's a high bar.
Wow.
That's a freaking high bar to go over.
Do we have anyone internet savvy enough to put a poll up for that on our website?
You know what? I had to figure out how to do that.
Yeah,
that would be fun to do that. Just actually, I had a movie night a number of years ago down here. And we played both Bullet and
7-Ups.
7-Ups, the whole movie.
Oh, wow.
And they had a bunch of guys just grade which one they liked the most. I mean, it was like 50-50. It was just really a great 50-50. So, we got NASCAR coming up this weekend.
Fine. Well, no. NASCAR's here, bro.
Actually,
we have the twin 125s. It's here.
It was so fun watching those last night. I just absolutely love watching those.
I was doing birthday things.
That's right. It was your birthday. That's completely understandable. It was, it's just fun watching it.
I've always enjoyed watching the twin 125s, man, because it's just compact and it's. Yeah, you get to that final finale quicker.
Yeah, it does. It does. And
it suits my ADD much better.
Right. It's start and finish really, really fast.
Yeah.
That's what counts, sir.
Yep.
That's what counts. So, like I said, Daytona, I'm always impressed with the drivers. And that, just the way that they've been taking care of themselves better over the years. You see Jimmy Johnson and Martin, Carl Edwards. I mean, these guys.
You get beat around in that car, man.
I know.
I mean, there's some physical toll you take. And
absolutely.
God forbid you ever have a freaking nasty one.
Yeah.
Which, Talladega, there's always the big one.
Yeah.
Daytona, there's always the big one.
Actually, when you're watching Talladega and Daytona, you're just like in your
you're
like, okay,
when's
is
it
it
coming? When's it coming?
Do you see how close those guys are? They're going 200 miles an hour, dude, and they're only like,
dude, they could pass a drink back and forth. Man, they could easily pass the Grey Poupon.
I know, that's right.
And they're like this, and then the guy on the outside is like 2 inches off the wall.
Yeah. Yep. It's amazing the control that they have, and when you're sitting in that car, it's physical and it's mental.
I've never done it. You have. So,
I've been in the
was there a physicality to
there
being
was.
in the car?
Yeah, there was. There definitely was. And part of it's a car setup and all that too.
Sure.
But it's there is a physicality to it. No doubt about that.
So a squirrel like you would have a different setup than a fat pig like me?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much. So, dude, as I've mentioned before, I've done the Richard Petty driving school, which is so doggone cool. It's just absolutely so doggone cool. And, because Daytona, wouldn't it be fun to talk to a driver? Somebody that,
absolutely.
Actually is out there. So I was doing a little searching, as I do on the internet all the time.
Okay.
Imagine that. So I spoke to Briana North from the Richard Petty driving experience. absolute delight to talk to. And I explained about the podcast. I said, Briana, we would love to talk with maybe one of your drivers, instructors. And Briana said, I've got just the guy for you to talk to. So she was kind enough to put us in contact with Chase Cabre. Chase drives the Braille Batteries number 4 car on the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series E circuit. And Chase, it is an absolute delight to have you tonight, dude.
I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I'm excited to kind of mix it up with you guys and talk about some cool stuff.
Yeah, welcome to the cauldron. Beautiful.
Sure.
Absolutely. So, Chase, I'm going to ask you this, right from the outset. You were at the Twin 125s last night, and you saw that race where Earnhardt was, he led just about all the laps, I think, until like the last 2 or 3. When Denny Hamlin came up, Denny and a bunch of friends, had that train going and just overtook Earnhardt. Okay, so now it is Sunday afternoon. It's the white flag, and it's
the big one.
It's the big one, man.
It's the real race.
It's a big one, and it's not the 88 car out in front. It's the number 4 Braille Batteries car, and you're up front. What do you do on that last lap?
Yeah, with no help, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no help, and you got a string of 4 coming, thundering down on you.
What are you doing, when you're trying to stay out front? Everything, this is it. It's either finish or not. So what do you do?
That's a kind of a tough question there. Dale is exceptionally well at working the draft, as well as he does in the air, so to speak, as well as he does. And when you're just out front, you're kind of a sitting duck.
Yeah.
And there's only so much you can do. And you just kind of watch. You just got to sit there and watch a mirror and try to work the air every certain way. From able to stand back and watch it, if Dale would have backed up to the 11 and not let him get so much of a run there at the end, I think the finish would have been a lot different. But
Interesting.
like I said, Dale was really, really good at it. It's easy to sit back in the stands and go, oh, if he did this, if he did that,
Sure.
he would have won it. And it's way different in the driver's seat.
Sure.
So,
Well,
like I said, it's really tough. When you're out front at a super speedway, you're more or less a sitting duck rather than a pull. You're on defense. You are not on attack mode. You are on full defense. Listen to your spotter call the run and trying to do everything you can do to kind of help it there.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different driving skill set between defensive out in front versus, part of the pack chasing is what you're saying.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt, 100%. Even to race at a super speedway by yourself, it's wide open, just hung around the bottom. You get up in a pack and it's completely different. And there's a reason that the same guys are always fast at super speedways. And it's not because, their car is that much better. These guys are really, really good at working the air. And for you fans out there who are listening that aren't really sure what I'm talking about when I say work the air, these cars build bubbles in between them, pockets of air here, pockets of air there. And when you're watching on Sunday, kind of watch for them to do certain things to try to, what I call, drag one another off. You'll see, like Denny, when he went to pass Dale on the outside, he sucks down to his quarter panel.
Yep.
It sucks his speed off of him, and then he tries to get as far away as possible so that Dale can't run up the track and suck his speed off by sucking into his quarter panel. And the way the aero package is right now, and it's really cool the way it works. If you get single file, it's really hard to pass. And Denny is a really good super speedway racer and was one of the only ones to be able to pull it off. Dale ended up being another good super speedway racer. Just being able to understand the air. And there's a lot of it that I don't know that these guys do know. And they've got it down to just the T. There's a lot of them who are really good at it. Dale Earnhardt's good at it. Chase Elliott's really good at it. Brad Keselowski, in my opinion, has got to be the best super speedway racer I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
Wow.
He's just exceptionally well.
He's always up there.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is.
always hear his name.
Yep.
Wow.
Another one who's good, Denny Hamlin. David Reagan, who runs for Furniture Row, the 38.
Right.
He's a really good super speedway racer.
Wow. So, are there any rules changes that came up this year? I know that they're trying to take a little bit of the air off the back end to loosen them up a little bit. Anything that you're going to be looking for on Sunday, in the big race?
So much of downforce, isn't going to play so big of a role at a track like Daytona Obviously, air means a lot, as I was just talking about. But
sure.
when we're talking about downforce and taking downforce away, how they are, you're not going to really see it much at Daytona. You'll see it more when they go to Atlanta and they're on a beat-up surface. These teams are so good at getting the downforce back into them. They'll go to Atlanta and they might be slipping and sliding around like they did last year, and then the next day they look glued to the track again. And that's just because these teams have so much technology involved in the shop to be able to get that downforce that they're missing out of it. They're not going to be able to tell really how much. There's only so much wind tunnel stuff you could do until you really get out there and see what it's like.
Get ground data. Yep. Yeah, you're talking to two automotive engineers here, so we totally feel you.
Yeah. So these teams get that downforce right back in them, and NASCAR keeps trying to pull it out, and it does make the racing better and better, and it is getting better and better. NASCAR does an incredible job of doing so and listening to the fans. So much for Sunday. Relating back to the question, I want to see how these stages play out. I really like this new format. I think NASCAR needed that change.
Sure.
I talked to a lot of the Cup drivers talking about it, and a lot of them really do like it.
Good.
Not just saying they like it for the media. They really do like it, and I do think it was a much needed modern change to the sport, and it's gonna kind of spice things up a little bit.
You know what this just goes to show you? It's just a lot easier to sit back and have a beer.
Yeah. And I got to give NASCAR credit. Amongst the big, like the NFL, the NHL, NASCAR. These guys really tinker and aren't afraid to make changes.
That's right.
And see what happens. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, this ain't working so good. So they'll make a change mid-year. They'll figure it out. I really like the innovation and the progressiveness of NASCAR and their willingness to take risks with that kind of stuff.
And NASCAR talks to the drivers too, don't they, Chase? I mean, they get the feedback from the drivers, about what's working and what's not, don't they?
Yeah. NASCAR does an awesome job at listening to their fans, listening to their drivers. Nothing is ever really hard set in stone. There's always room for movement. They have driver seminars that the Cup drivers go to, and they talk about different things that they think kind of would work better, or different things that they don't like, or if they didn't like the tire of this week and they didn't like the tire of that week. There are avenues for them to go and to be able to talk to these guys. So NASCAR does do a really, really good job at really listening to their people and trying to make it better and better every single race.
Wow. That's it. You're right, dude. They really do a good job of doing that. They'll change in the middle of the year, like you said. So, Chase, I hate to put you on the spot. Do you have one or two? That's right.
No, he doesn't.
I know.
This is what we're here for.
One or two drivers that you're saying, okay, when they go across the start-finish line, with a checkered flag, who are you looking for on Sunday?
Well, I'm really good friends with Eric Jones. I hang out with him quite a bit. I like Eric a lot. I would like to see him do it. Two other drivers I really do like would be Kyle Larson and Daniel Suarez, both graduates of the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program that I'm in right now. Awesome to see that they've went through the program. They've raced for the same team that I'm racing for right now, and they've made it to the top level and are competing in good equipment and with good teams at the top level. And it kind of gives that light at the end of the tunnel for us who are in the program, and you can kind of see that, you can see that the program works, and it's there. So I like to cheer for those guys who came from where I came from.
Why don't you the NASCAR Drive for Diversity? Why don't you explain that a little bit more for the Cauldron fans?
Well, the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program, it's a program for minorities, female, African American, Spanish. The list goes on and on, and they bring us. You submit an application. And the whole reasoning behind this was, one of the biggest reasons, and not the whole reason, but one of the biggest reasons was to try to keep NASCAR diverse. They don't, it's such a typical. If you talk to anybody, they say NASCAR is, it's a white redneck sport.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to kind of diversify it and bring in new fans. And you have Daniel Suarez, who's bringing in the whole Mexican population, and Mexican fans and all that. And Kyle Larson, being Japanese-American, is pulling that aspect of it. So NASCAR created this diversity program to kind of help that. And how it works is we submit an application. They get, 100, however many applications they get a year. I don't know the exact number. From just racers around the United States who have a diverse background. They evaluate your application you send in. There's, you have to have race results and references and the whole 9 yards, videos, and then they bring you to it. They narrow it down to, most of the time, 20. This year it was 17 they narrowed it down to, and brought us to a combine. From there, it was at New Smyrna Speedway in a late model stock. We got in a late model stock. We ran laps. We each got a set of tires, and we ran 20 laps. We also had a gym physical fitness portion of it and a media portion of it, and they evaluated us on all three and came up with their 6 drivers for this year. And so that's how that works.
Outstanding. Now, the physical fitness part of it, man, I know a lot of the other, like the top circuit drivers and whatnot, they got nutritionists now. They've got real strict training regimes. How much does physical fitness really apply to racing a car? Because your average schmo is going to think, you're in a car.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But really, can you explain how the difference between being physically fit and training helps your game?
Right, yeah, no, 100%. Physical fitness is huge. I train every single morning in the gym with a trainer, and I'm just running a NASCAR Canyon East Series. That's, our longest race is 150 laps. So to run what those guys do at some of the tracks they do, it's so physically demanding, and until you're able to sit down in a seat, and the Richard Petty driving experience provides such a great avenue for you to be able to do that, to kind of feel what they go through. And I work there, as you said before, and it's nice to be able to kind of give these guys a thrill of a lap, or if they come and drive, or if they come and ride even. There's not one of them that gets out of the car and says, "Oh, that was easy." I have every single time every time someone said, I don't understand how these guys can do it on Sunday.
That's really key, man. I mean, that's insightful. People, I don't think people realize how demanding it is to get whipped around at 200 miles an hour in a steel frickin' bullet.
And the guys today, the Jimmy Johnsons, Carl Edwards, he was big into it. Mark Martin, I think, really started it up. He really was big into the physical fitness and, really being ready, to battle for the full season, not just one race. It's a long year that you're out there and seeing these guys. So that's so cool, Chase, to hear that, even every day you're in working with a trainer.
Oh, yeah. It's a requirement that the team provides. They provide a gym for us that's inside our shop, and we have a physical trainer we work with. And like I said, it's very hard to put it into words as to what it takes to get down in the car and actually do it. Mm-hmm. And that I would totally recommend to anybody to get out there with a Richard Petty driving experience, feel what it's like and see what it's like, and then get out and say, I don't understand why you have to train.
I think Fire and Brimmstone are going to have to do that, man.
Yeah.
You've got to be some sort of U.S. Marine or something.
Sure. All right.
I don't care who you are.
Well, I am smiling, from east to west when you're saying that, Chase, because I did do the Richard Petty Driving School up at MIS, Michigan International Speedway, a couple years ago, and I was one of those dudes getting out of the car like, oh my God, this is I have died and gone to heaven. Yeah, it is. So tell us about what you do in the Richard Petty Driving School. I know if you got ride-alongs. In my case, I was in the car by myself, 8 laps around MIS, and I fell on the rabbit car. 8 laps. And I was just about 150 miles an hour, which is not even touching what the cars can do, but it was pretty doggone fast for me. And I was following a rabbit car. So what do you do with the folks that coming in, Chase?
With the Petty experience, I started there about 2 years ago now. Well, actually, I should say a little over a year and a half, actually, now I think back. But I give the ride-alongs to you guys who come out and want to ride, as well as one of the instructors. So how you had an instructor. I'm one of those brave souls that nowadays It's a little bit different than when you did it. You did it, and it was a lead follow program. I'm one of the brave souls now that we strap in the right seat and ride with you.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Open mic communication to you, and they're able to kind of coach you around there. So I don't know if you call me stupid or smart. But,
I don't know. That's a good question, man. Young and dumb, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's absolutely incredible to be able to do something like that, and it's what's the best part about that job to me is just to get these guys out there who don't have the opportunity to go racing and just love the sport so much, for them to be able to just see what it's like to get down in the seat.
Just to give them a taste.
And as an instructor, sitting in the right seat is just awesome because you're able to really see these guys progress. And even in 8 laps, they start out their first lap and they hit the bank and it's like, whoa, that was crazy. And then you go to the next one, it wasn't so bad. I can kind of conquer that. And then they go on to the next thing. You're constantly talking to them, telling them, all right, you can hit the gas more. You can hit the gas more.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to hold you back unless you're doing something, out of line. So it's an awesome experience, it really is. And I'm glad you were able to do it at Michigan. It seems like you had a ton of fun.
Oh, and the quality of the experience. Just, from the beginning, Dan, when they're talking to you, we went around the track and, in a bus and, like a van, and they were pointing out, okay, they had what they call gates painted onto the track. In some places you had to be between them, and some places below them, stuff like that. And so the whole experience, they
targets.
Exactly.
So they taught you how to work the track. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I think there are 2 things. And have you been up to MIS, Chase? Have you been on that track?
I have actually never been to Michigan. It seems like a cool track, but I haven't got my stab at it just yet.
It is. Well, because what they said is that when you see the rabbit car take off, you're going to follow that rabbit car. You're just going to follow right in his footsteps. And they had you shifting on the 4000s. And, of course, I'm thinking to myself, don't miss a shift. Don't do something stupid and miss a shift. So by the end of the pit road, I'm already in 4th gear, and you're looking at this wall of concrete. It's just, and you're already going like 110 miles an hour at that point. And you see this wall of concrete, like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. And you do hit that transition between the apron and the track. There's a little bump there, but the thing that does scare the hell out of you. Now, the thing, Chase, that gets you, and you probably experienced in some tracks, because Michigan's a D-shaped track, and with the camber of the tires, when you're going down that back straightaway, which is straight as an arrow, your hands, they're not at 10 and 2, they're actually pointed towards the wall. So you're launching down that's right. And then when you go around the curve, the rest of the track, then it straightens out. That is the most unnerving thing in the world, Chase.
So it's completely backwards of normal driving.
It's just completely
when you're on the straightaway on the backside.
You're just like that.
You're trying to turn, and then you hit the straightaway and you keep it straight.
That's exactly right. Absolutely,
sounds like fun. 90 miles. Where do I sign up for this insanity? I want Chase beside me.
Now, do you have you've been to tracks that have that kind of same experience, Chase?
What was that?
Do you have been to tracks where you have that same experience, where the way that the camper's set up, the way you hold your hands, it seems unnatural on the steering wheel?
Oh, that's every track. They're all set up to go left.
Yeah.
That's how they're all meant to go left. So every single racetrack you go to, you're going to be turning right down the straightaway. That's just how they are. There's force pulling you to the left, especially being on the banking. It's at every single racetrack you go to. Now, something that we do as drivers, whenever we get out there, you'll see it even in your cup stages. If you go to the track, you don't really see it so much. If you're just watching on TV, but they say fire the engines, you fire up, and you immediately roll forward and then roll back. We do that so we can find what straight actually is, and then we reset our wheel. We pull our wheel off and put it back on.
Oh, interesting.
So when we're going straight, the wheel is actually straight.
Sure.
But it's really turning to the right.
That's interesting. Wow. No, I didn't have that experience.
Engineering stuff is cool, man.
That's what you get. That's with a little bit of more experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck getting there, Brimmstone. Brim double M.
But I will say this, after meeting the drivers that you've got the Richard Petty driving experience and just the quality of everything that they do, I'm with you, dude. I mean, I'm jealous as all get out. And
you're how old again, Chase?
I just turned 20.
Wow.
So you're 20. You're living the dream.
Oh, yeah, you are.
You've got a dream job on the side.
Yes.
You know what? Cheers to you, my friend.
No doubt about that. So Chase, tell us about the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East.
Well, the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East is a touring series. They're one of the NASCAR touring series. It's a step right below the truck series. It's kind of, if you know anything about the ARCA series, similar to the cars or similar to your ARCA series. If not more or less pretty much the exact same. Just a little bit different rules and motor packages and stuff like that. But more or less, just like an ARCA car, we travel around. We race a lot shorter tracks than ARCA goes and runs tracks like Daytona. Mm-hmm. We run tracks like New Smyrna and Greenville Pickens. Our big tracks for us would be like Dover. New Hampshire is one of our bigger tracks.
Okay.
We don't go over a mile. Dover is the biggest track we go to, our fastest track and our biggest track. And we travel around. We run a 14-race schedule, start out in New Smyrna, go as far west as Iowa, as far east as New Smyrna, and as far north as New Jersey Motorsports Park, which is a road course.
Just to give you a taste.
And do different things and stuff like that. And it's a really awesome series. It's a nice feeder series into the truck series and gives you the experience and opportunity to be seen at a national level.
Yeah.
To these guys who are in trucks and stuff like that, and these top team owners, it gives you the opportunity to be a part of that and kind of get that opportunity with some of these top guys.
And that is so cool, the way that NASCAR does that. I mean, they offer so many opportunities to, over the past couple of years especially, you've heard these names, like you said, Kyle Larson and that. They've kind of grown up and they've come up to the series, and it's really...
there's a new breed and a new generation out there lurking.
Yeah, there is.
What I mean?
And if you could be, Chase, we're looking at your schedule. And you said the Monster Mile at Dover, which is just, that's a track. Bristol, man, that is the bull ring in Bristol. That is absolutely beautiful.
The bull ring, it's beautiful.
Oh, man, that is, I've been to that race a couple times, but and I've walked around the track a couple times as well. But, man, that is something else. That's got to be an experience at Bristol. You know what? How fast are your laps? Like 14 seconds, something like that? 10, 12, 14 seconds?
They're about around, I want to say with the K&N series, we run about 14 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I want to say, it could be wrong, don't quote me.
Yeah.
We haven't been there yet, and it's my rookie year, so I don't exactly know. Our fastest track, no doubt, and the most cool track we go to, no doubt, is Dover.
Yep.
We barely cracked the throttle. In qualifying, if you can get your race car to not hit the ground, you can hold it to the mat. But that's big and fast. But it's awesome. I mean, my older brother, Colin Cabre, won there in 2015.
Wow!
Outstanding.
He's a teammate. This year he's my teammate. So we run for the same team, and he won there at Dover. And it's his favorite track we go to. It's so fast. It's incredible to go there and see it. And I've seen it in person of how fast they really get around there. And I'm so excited to get out there and even try that and just have fun with it and hopefully come out of it with a decent finish.
Oh, no.
How about a little sibling rivalry?
Oh, yeah. Dover? You think, it's a little smack talk between the brothers there.
Could there be some paint scraping between brothers?
He doesn't want to say it.
I didn't hear no. So, you know what? We're going to let you off the hook with that one and just leave it at that, man.
It's okay. It's probably best. Chasing. Don't say anything.
Unwritten rules of racing. They're out there.
Welcome
to the cauldron.
There you go. The other one is Watkins Glen. because you get to turn not just left, but you get to turn right as well at that track.
Yeah, I'm not so good at how my right turning is. I've never been on a road course, and that's...
Oh, really?
So my right...
Uh-oh.
No, so I've never done it, so my right turning, we'll have to find out how that goes. I've got the whole left thing.
Yeah, good for you. That's comforting to know.
That left motion, but the right motion's a new thing to me, so we'll have to kind of count our toes and watch our P's and Q's as we get around there for the first couple times.
Oh, that is great. That is great. So, Chase, get back to Richard Petty, the experience. You go all around the country. You've got to let us know, or we'll touch base with you to see if you're coming up to MIS at all. It would be such a
we got to
blast.
see you, man. We got to hang out with you, man.
We'll get in the car with you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome.
That'd be insane.
That'd be awesome. I love giving ride along, primarily because I'm in the driver's seat.
That's
and I love driving. I also like the instructing side of it, like I talked about earlier.
Yep.
But it's incredibly fun to give some of these guys ride-alongs and to be able to see their face when they get done. It's just like, wow. And especially the guys who just went out and drove. They went out and drove with, their 8 laps or their whatever experience they had bought. They drive, and then they get in with us, and then I go, oh, that's what you were talking about. Now I see. Now I'm ready to go again.
There you go. There's a money-making machine right there, baby.
Yeah, I must admit that after I did the 8 laps,
you were
I wanted to go out for 8 more laps.
You're addicted, aren't you?
Because
it's a drug.
Yeah,
that's
because
drug.
I figured that out. I should have in this corner. I should have done this.
Can imagine,
Yeah, it is so because you can only try to do better. It's like anything else.
Trust me, Tope, I know the game.
That is just, it's so fun to be able to do that. But again, I want to say thank you to Briana North on that. And then Chase, the Drive for Diversity. What an awesome thing.
Yeah, this is a really cool program, man. Thanks for bringing that to light.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That is really cool. And then with the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series East, wow, you guys are at some great tracks, and let's promote that. We're going to promote that out there, for people to get out there. It's, like you said, it's a great experience. You get to see some up-and-coming drivers, too.
Oh, yeah, it's an incredible experience to be a part of a series like this. I've watched my brother run it for 2 years, so I'm excited to get out there and do it. I've got my first one under our belt. We had a 12th place finish, upwards of mid-pack, so we've got a building base to work off of.
Yep.
We just keep plugging forward from there.
Congratulations.
At least, you can look at the downsides and look at the plus sides. We brought the car in on one piece, and it's building blocks to get on and go on from there. So if we go through all year and just keep going from there, we should be all right.
Perfect attitude,
Excellent.
man.
Yeah,
we're really looking
is.
forward to see your climb through NASCAR, man. We're going to see you on the big stage one day. Faux show.
I would love to say so, but you just got to keep plugging along.
There you go. You'll get there.
And talking to the right people.
Absolutely. Right. So, Chase, again, thank you so very much. It was an absolute pleasure.
Oh, no, I thank you guys incredibly. I had a fun time doing this, was able to talk about the thing I love doing and my job all in one thing. So I enjoyed doing that. Thank you guys for having me on the show.
No problem. Maybe we can see you maybe midway through the season, see how you're progressing, and
absolutely
see what your take on is for the final push.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, that was Chase Cabre. Chase drives the Braille Batteries number 4 car on the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series E circuit. And also Richard Petty driving experience driver in the NASCAR Drive for Diversity. Dude, you're doing it all. You just do it all.
You are the man. You are the man at 20. That's ridiculous.
We are jealous.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chase, thanks, buddy. And we will touch base with you. We're going to be following you and definitely touch base during the season.
Awesome. Cool, man. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot.
All right. Hey, have fun watching Daytona on Sunday.
Yep.
We will do. We'll do. Awesome. I can't wait to kick back on my couch and watch this truck race in a couple minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. It's coming on. So, Chase, thank you, buddy.
Have a great night.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
See ya. Hey, dude, this is an absolute blast.
Yeah, it's a good one, man.
See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.